Thank you for joining. This is Arif Muhammad, Product Manager for CA Release Automation. Today, engineering teams are using agile methodology to build new applications and releases much quicker, which is putting a lot more pressure on the operations side of the house to deliver these applications to the end users. Adoption of DevOps by actually breaking the silos in the development and operations team is becoming an enabler to accelerate this time to delivery. It's not only just to accelerate the time to deliver, but also improve the efficiency during the build life cycle as well. As the application is being built, it actually goes through different stages of development, which is basically from development to regression to QA and then eventually production. It needs to be deployed in different environments many times during this life cycle, and automating this whole process and actually managing the overall release train is become an important factor to reap the benefit of agile development. CA Release Automation is a continuous application delivery platform that allows you to define your own application model and help automate the release and deployment of application across your heterogeneous environment and infrastructures. It also further help optimize the overall build to deliver process by integrating and orchestrating activities across your development and IT tools. For better alignment between development and ops team, both sides have to speak the same language. The teams within the ops side of the house are used to working in silos, and they talk their own language and lack application visibility. Cisco, with their application-centric infrastructure, ACI, is going to help bridge this gap. A key component of ACI are Nexus 9000 and ACI controller. The controller itself acts as a single point of management of network and layer 4.7 services. The cool thing about this controller is that it speaks application language and help create the linkage between the infrastructure and application. It provides the ability to define application profile and control and manage the network connectivity, quality of service, and SLA between the application components. Based on the defined application policy, APIC automatically deploys the network and configure layer 4.7 services irrespective of whether virtual or physical infrastructure is used. So ACI can actually be a leap forward to help adopt the DevOps methodology. So let's put the power of CA Release Automation and Cisco's APIC together to help adopt DevOps. Next few minutes, I will show you how CA Release Automation integrated with Cisco's APIC platform can help optimize the build to deliver cycle of our application. In the demo, I'll show you a full deployment of a multi-tier application as well as pushing the network policies to APIC so the network is automatically configured based on the application requirements. Next, we will see the application release operations manager requesting a move of the application from one port to the other, and how the integration automatically move the application port and configure the network by communicating with Cisco's APIC. At the end, we will decommission the application and see release automation orchestrating the request across all the application tier to remove application components and eventually remove the network policies from APIC, so no ports are left open unnecessarily. This is one of our operations guy and application available, so he needs to go and deploy that onto the infrastructure. So he logs into CA Release Automation. There he has different options. So in this particular case, we actually see that he has an option to deploy a brand new instance of the customer portal. He clicks on that and create an instance of this particular release. New portal instance Cisco, hides the information there, create the release. There he actually runs through. Just it's a matter of actually clicking a button and providing all the necessary configuration information to have all the activities orchestrated through through different infrastructure layers, basically, or the application tiers. In this particular case, we just entered the name of the the site we want to use. Then we actually provide what port to use to deploy this particular application or site. Here we go. So the overall process is done now. Deployment is complete. Let's take a look at if application is up and running. So here, click on that. Voila, this application is Cust Portal as we took there. It's up and running. Let's take a look at Cisco's APIC to see if the policies which are actually automatically get created as part of this deployment. So since this is a tenant forward inc, so I'm going to go into forward inc and have a look at the application profiles. As you can see, Cust Portal application profile got created here. If you take a look at that, the overall view of this Cust Portal actually shows us that there is IIS and MySQL, two groups, basically endpoint groups, which are available there, and also there is an external network which basically would allow the traffic to the IIS server, while IIS and SQL Server traffic is through a different port. So let's take a look at the security policies and how they are controlled. So if you take a look, HTTP is actually set at 8088 as requested by Roger, and SQL, which is basically running on the MySQL running on the default port, so 3036. Now let's move back here, and the new request comes for Roger is to actually move the portal to a different port. So he goes in here again. He has a service available for him. He clicks on that. Just click of a button. He provides information there again to start the process. Actually set up in such a way that we would have to provide the port number and the website information. This can also be set up in such a way that the information is actually collected from the configuration repository itself. I provide the name of the application site. Then I provide my old port is 8088. Apply, and then my new port I want it to be moved to is 8089. So press apply, and the move process starts. Let's take a look at the application and see if it's actually moved. So first let's look at 8088. We see that 8088 is basically not responding anymore. Take a look at 8089. Yeah, so the portal is actually moved over from 8088 to 8089. Let's take a look at the policy, and let me refresh it. So 8088 actually moved to 8089. The port has been moved. So the last request, as the application is used now, and I want to return it or dispose of the application. So here I provide remove application and run the process. Again, it would ask me about the customer portal, the name of the site. I'll provide that. Customer portal. Right, so the removal of the application is done. Let's take a look at the portal and see if we can actually still reach. We should not be able to reach the application anymore since it's actually undeployed in 88. Both ports actually should not be responding. Let's go back and take a look at the policy. It should actually be removed as well. So the policy has been removed as well. So let's take a look what's going on behind the scene. It started with getting getting the artifacts from the source control or repository, then moving into the web server side where all the necessary operations which are needed to be done on the web server side are executed. Then the flow actually moved towards the database side, and over in the database it actually created the database for this particular WordPress application. It also actually created any user which was needed to be created, and then eventually after it has deployed the schema on the database side, then it actually went on the web server side and installed the application and configured anything which is needed, basically mainly the port numbers and how to communicate to the SQL MySQL server as well. And then once everything is deployed, it actually communicated with Cisco ACI, which is the Cisco's APIC API, which is a REST-based API here, which for which after logging in and actually created the EPGs for this application. We saw that before. Those EPGs were created, and then it added all the network policies which are required for this application, and eventually logged out. Let's take a look at the switch portal. Switch port. So switch port basically communicated with the web server. It removed the old port and added the new port there on the IIS server, and then it actually communicated with APIC, and there it updated the policy again using the REST API. Policy to update the port, which actually get pushed over to the network layer by Cisco ACI. In this demo, you have seen how CA release automation coupled with Cisco's APIC helps bridge the gap between your development and operations teams. CA has many more solutions that can help you at each stage of build to deliver cycle and realize the DevOps dream. For more information, please visit ca.com/devops, cisco.com/go/ACI. Thank you very much for your time.